The air in the first-class cabin of Flight 419 from Chicago to Seattle was thick with the hum of anticipation, the kind that settles in just before a storm. It was September 14th, 2026, and I, Marcus Langston, sat in seat 1B, my boarding pass crisp in my hand, my navy blazer unassuming but sharp. No logos, no flash, just a man with a briefcase and a purpose. I'd flown this route with Horizon Airlines countless times, my Diamond Elite status a quiet badge of loyalty. But today, something felt off the moment I settled in. The flight attendant, Evelyn Harper, approached me before I could even buckle my seatbelt. Mid-50s, her posture screamed authority, her eyes scanning me like I was a puzzle she didn't trust. "Sir, you're in the wrong seat," she said, her tone clipped, her clipboard clutched like a shield. I raised an eyebrow, calm but curious. "I'm not," I replied, handing her my boarding pass. She barely glanced at it before holding it at arm's length, as if it might bite. "Anyone can print these," she said, her voice low but slicing. "You'll need to move to economy." The cabin went quiet, heads turning. A businessman across the aisle, James Colton, mid-40s in a tailored suit, smirked and muttered, "This isn't a budget airline, pal." I didn't flinch. Instead, I reached into my briefcase, slow and deliberate, pulling out my Diamond Elite card. 10 years with Horizon," I said evenly. "Check it," Evelyn scoffed. "Fake cards are a dime a dozen." Her words weren't just dismissive, they were a challenge, daring me to prove I belonged in a space I'd paid for. I stayed calm, my voice steady. "This is my seat. Paid in full." Evelyn leaned in, her perfume sharp. "Move, sir, or I'll call security." The tension spiked, passengers shifting uncomfortably. A woman 2 rows back, discreetly filming, caught my eye with a knowing nod. She wasn't streaming yet, but her phone's red light blinked. I noted it. James Colton chuckled again. "Just move him already," he said. Evelyn nodded, calling for backup over her radio. I leaned back, folding my boarding pass neatly. "Call who you need," I said. "I'm not moving." 2 minutes later, Evelyn returned with a younger attendant, Daniel Ruiz, who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Sir, we need to verify your credentials," he said softly. I offered my documents again, but Evelyn cut him off. "He moves now." Daniel hesitated, then backed away. The cabin buzzed with whispers, some amused, some uneasy. The woman filming smiled faintly, her phone still rolling. Then came Michael Vance, the gate supervisor, striding in with a scowl that said he'd seen this play before. Late 50s, graying hair, navy vest. "What's the holdup?" he asked Evelyn, barely glancing at me. "He's refusing to leave a seat he didn't pay for," she said. Michael turned to me. "Sir, step off the plane, and we'll sort this out." I met his gaze. "I paid for 1B. Verify it with corporate." Evelyn rolled her eyes. "He's delaying the flight." James Colton piped up. "Some people don't know their place." That was the spark. Not anger, but clarity. I pulled out my phone, typed a quick message, and hit send. The woman filming stood, still recording, and moved toward the back. Evelyn radioed again, her voice tight. "Security, gate 12, now." I sat still, the calm center of a brewing storm. Passengers murmured. A man whispered, "That ID looked real." Another said, "Why won't they check it?" Security arrived, Officer Lauren Mitchell, mid-40s, black, her presence shifting the air. Her eyes met mine, and I saw it. She knew this story. "Mr. Langston," she said softly, "let's talk." I stood, adjusting my blazer, and followed her to the galley. The cabin exhaled, some clapping in relief. Evelyn muttered, "Finally." In the galley, Lauren spoke low. "They filed a report, fake documents, non-compliance. I need you to walk off calmly." I nodded. "I'll walk." As we stepped back into the aisle, James Colton stretched out in 1B, already ordering a drink. I glanced at the woman, filming, her sunglasses blinked twice, a hidden lens. She was no bystander. She was my asset. In the terminal, Lauren sighed. "They'll say you delayed the flight. There's a file on you now." I smiled faintly. "There's a file on you too, officer. For bias complaints, all handled cleanly. That's why they sent you." Her eyes widened, but she didn't push. My phone buzzed. Phase 3 confirmed. Asset Carter. Upload in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, as Flight 419 soared over the Midwest, A video dropped online from an account called Fairflight. No bio, no followers, just one post. This is what profiling looks like at 30,000 feet. 9 minutes of unedited footage. Evelyn's sneer, James's taunts, Michael's dismissal, my calm refusal. It spread like wildfire. 10,000 retweets in minutes, then millions of views. News outlets pounced in BC, Reuters, Al Jazeera. By landing, the video had 12 million views. Hashtags exploded. Seat 1B, Fairflight, Unmask Bias. At Horizon Seattle HQ, CEO Rachel Thornton faced a nightmare. Stock plummeted 8%. Her team scrambled, but the narrative was gone. My asset, Sarah Carter, sat in a downtown office, her laptop tracking the chaos spikes in engagement, trending hashtags, news alerts. She'd planted the video, her sunglasses recording every second. Meanwhile, I sat in a quiet lounge at SeaTac, watching the headlines roll. Rachel Thornton stepped in, her face pale. "Mr. Langston," she said, "you're our largest shareholder. 27.4% voting power." I nodded. "And I'm disappointed, Rachel. Not as a passenger, but as an owner." She sat, tense. "Why not tell them who you were?" I leaned forward. "Because the system needed to fail on its own." I handed her a folder. Department of Transportation signatures, FAA audits, a federal bias task force. "This was a test. You failed." Her hands shook as she read. Phase 3, real-world engagement. I was the subject. Rachel whispered, "This will ruin careers." I shook my head. They ruined themselves. I just brought the camera. The next morning, I faced the board. Chairman Edward Holt tried to oust me, but I slid forward new proxy agreements, boosting my control to 51.2%. "I'm not leaving," I said. "I'm rebuilding." The Brooks Protocol Me 5-point reform rolled out. AI bias monitoring, a $60 million diversity fund, 80-hour anti-bias training, anonymous passenger feedback, and staff equity indexing. Evelyn was terminated publicly, Michael demoted, Rachel tasked with implementation. By noon, Horizon's press release hit. Horizon Airlines adopts Langston Protocol for equity and accountability. The stock rebounded 15%. Social media roared Langston leads, systemic fix. Sarah Carter's documentary, The Seat That Shook the Skies, won awards, centering not me, but the silenced passengers. Evelyn, after soul-searching, became a trainer, teaching from her mistakes. Dr. Amara Fields, a fired whistleblower, joined the board, her appointment cheered online. A year later, Horizon's customer trust hit 95%. The Langston Protocol was industry standard. At a global summit, I spoke, "Respect isn't a favor. It's a right." A father and daughter boarded a Horizon flight, taking seat 1B. The attendant smiled, handing the girl wings. The seat was theirs, no questions asked. What do you think? Was Marcus right to expose the system this way? Or did he manipulate it too far? Should Evelyn have been given a second chance? Could this happen on your next flight? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more stories that spark debate.